My biggest concern is how to get it to best-selling status. Well, I'm going to give a flip answer. Sell lots of books. Of course, how do you sell lots of books? And for that, we could spend 8 hours talking about. But let me give you a couple of ideas here on what Amazon is looking for in a best-selling book. Now, best-selling book does not necessarily mean you're outselling Harry Potter and The Joy of Cooking and the latest keto recipe book. All these best-selling status symbols that you see are basically from people who have achieved #1 ranking in their category. And their category could be keto cookbooks or writing reference tools, which is where my book was #1 for a while. So it's really cool when it gets there. But remember, you want to find a niche that you can dominate. And it has to be a good niche. So you don't want to be in like, my book wouldn't be, say, alphabet. There actually is an alphabet category. But who's searching for alphabet? I don't know. Probably third-grade teachers or mothers of third-grade students. So that would not be a good category for me or for you. So think about what category is best for you. So how do you do that? Well, look for other books that compete directly with yours. And yes, there are books that compete directly with yours. Everyone likes to say their book is totally unique. I have news for you. You don't want to be a totally unique book because people don't know how to look for totally unique books. They look for books in categories that they think they know about. So you want to be like the keto cookbook or whatever. But you're different because you're a keto cookbook for seniors or a keto cookbook for pregnant women or whatever. So you find your category that way. So you look for the other books, you see what categories they are in, and then you list your book in those categories. Next, you need to find out how many copies you need to sell to dominate that category. I use a tool called KD Spy, and I'll include that in the show notes. I'm an affiliate for it. I think it's a great program. It basically tells you how many books are selling or how many copies of books are selling in relation to each other per month. So I can see that, my book is, say, the 17th best-selling book in writing reference tools. And I can see that, say, there are 34 books sold this month, and the leader in that category sold 56 books. I need to sell 57 books, one more than him, to be #1 in that category. So this is the second step in your toolbox. Once you figure out what category you should be in, then you go see how many books you need to sell to be #1. Third step, you get all your friends together to buy the book on launch day. Now, this is the typical Amazon launch program strategy. You've probably seen it or been asked to be part of it. And it's real complicated because it has a lot of moving parts. I'll simplify it. Basically, you want to get all your friends to buy the book on a certain day. And if they do, then you'll sell more than the 57 books that are on the top of the category that day. And bingo, you're #1 for that day, that minute, that time. Some people try to game the system by launching their book on the 4th of July or a Saturday or a Sunday when people aren't buying books, a major holiday kind of thing. And that works to a certain degree. But when I said it's complicated, it means that there are a lot of moving parts because you have to beg, borrow, steal, bribe, convince, cajole all your friends to do this on the same day, which frankly is a pain in the butt. And a lot of people have hired companies to do this for them at exorbitant prices, I might add, $10,000 or so. And believe me, there are very few people who are going to make $10,000 back on the sale of their books. So that's a losing proposition. You do not want to hire a company or a VA to do this for you. You will spend a lot more money than you'll probably ever make back unless you really have a true kick-ass book that really has a wide range of people who would be interested in buying it. So those are the 3 key things that I would say. But here's the other key point. Amazon knows what you're doing. They know that you and 15,000 other people are all getting all your buddies to buy the book at the same time and the same day so they can get the little banner and promote it. And they're happy to do that because they'll sell 50 more books or 100 more books times 1,000 more people. They're going to make a lot of money by you having your launch program, which is cool. But Amazon also wants to be an honest broker. They want to tell people what books are really hot. So while they're happy to say that you're the best seller for the July 4th or Memorial Day or New Year's Eve, they're not going to try to scam their readers into thinking that your book, which sold 50 copies in one day and no copies the next day, no copies the next day, is a true bestseller. So what they have done is that they have a moving 30-day average. So if you sell 30 books the first day and 20 books the third day and 10 books the fourth day and 5 books and 3 books and 2 books and 1 book, and you're selling consistently throughout the month, your book will actually rank higher in the long term than the person who gets all their friends to buy the book on one day and then there are no sales for the next 30 days or the next 30 years. That just falls off the face of the earth. My book is now 11 months old. It has been consistently in the top 10 or the top 20 in 3 really competitive categories. And I'm really happy for that. And I have to tell you, it has not sold zillions of copies, but it sells copies consistently. So I know that this algorithm actually does work. So in order to maintain your book as one of the top 10 or 20 books sold, you want to get your friends, or actually not your friends, you really want to get, real buyers, people on your lists, people who follow you to buy the book, on your speaking engagements and marketing and everything like that. So all that helps. The other thing that helps bestseller status are reviews. And I want to urge you to get people to review your book, pitch reviewers to review your book. You can find lists of people who review books on Amazon. You can see other people who reviewed your competitors' books. You might send them a pitch letter and say, hey, I know you reviewed the Keto Cookbook. How would you like to review my book, the Keto Cookbook for Pregnant Women? And if they do, that's great, and they post it on Amazon, and you get social proof that way. My book now has 41 reviews, which is a good number. Granted, there are books in my category that have 300 reviews, and Stephen King's book on writing has, thousands of reviews, but it's been out for 25 years. So 40 looks good compared to someone who has 10 or 20 or 30, and people will buy a book based on reviews. They want to see what people are writing. They also want to see if there's a good number of reviews because that's social proof. So I hope those give you some ideas on how to get your book to the bestseller status so more people will buy your book, will be influenced by your good work, and that you'll make some money too, and you'll help to make the world a better place.